Why you feel guilty setting boundaries? Have you ever said no to someone and then spent the rest of the day feeling guilty about it? Maybe you set a boundary with a parent, a friend, or a partner, and instead of feeling relieved, you felt selfish, anxious, or even ashamed. If that's happened to you, there's something important you need to know. The guilt you feel after setting a boundary doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. In many cases, it means you're doing something you've never been allowed to do before. And today we're going to explore why setting boundaries feels so uncomfortable, especially for people like me who grew up with family trauma, emotional neglect, or unhealthy family dynamics. Welcome back to Rise and Healed. This is a safe space for healing family trauma, breaking generational cycles, and rebuilding self worth. If you're on a journey of healing like me and growth, consider subscribing and joining our community. So let's get into it. What boundaries really are. Many people think boundaries are walls, and they are not. Boundaries are not walls. Boundaries are guidelines that protect your emotional, physical, mental, and emotional well being. A boundary might sound like, I can't talk right now. I'm not comfortable with that. I need some time for myself or to myself. Please don't speak to me that way. Healthy boundaries help create healthy relationships. If you grew up like me in an environment where your needs were ignored, criticized, or punished, boundaries may feel unsafe. Why the guilt feels so strong? The guilt often begins in childhood. If you grew up feeling responsible for other people's emotions, you may have learned that keeping others happy was your job. You may have become the peacemaker, the caretaker, the people pleaser, the child who never caused problem. And over time, your brain learned a dangerous message. It learned that my worth depends on making other people comfortable. So when you set a boundary as an adult, your nervous system reacts as if you're doing something wrong, even when the boundary is healthy. The guilt isn't proof that your boundary is bad. It's often evidence that you're challenging an old survival strategy. Family trauma and boundary guilt. Let's talk about that one. In many dysfunctional families, boundaries are not respected. You may have heard things like, oh, you're too sensitive. Family comes first. After everything I've done for you? Or something like, you owe me your life. These messages teach children that saying no is selfish. But healthy relationships allow room for individual needs. People who truly care about you may not always like your boundaries, but healthy people can respect them. The people who benefited from your lack of boundaries are often the ones most upset when you begin setting them. Guilt versus doing something wrong. Here's something powerful to remember. Feeling guilty is not the same as being guilty. Sometimes guilt is a signal that we've hurt someone, But sometimes guilt is simply a sign that we're doing something new. When you feel guilty after you set a boundary, just ask yourself, did I harm someone or did I simply disappoint them? There's a big difference. You can disappoint someone but still be acting with integrity. Now, let's talk about how to start setting boundaries without shame. Because survivors, we struggle a lot with shame. If boundary setting is new for you, just start small. Practice saying things like, let me think about it. I'm unavailable that day. I need some rest. That doesn't work for me. And remember, you do not need a long explanation about why I cannot do it, or you know, you don't have to give a long explanation. You do not need permission, and you do not need everyone to approve. Every time you honor your needs, you teach your nervous system that it is safe to take up space. Well, if you've been struggling with guilt after setting boundaries, I want you to hear this. Protecting your peace is not selfish. Honoring your needs is not selfish. Healing from family trauma often means learning that your feelings matter. And the guilt may not disappear overnight, but each time you choose self respect over self abandonment, you're creating a healthier future for yourself. And that's something worth celebrating. Well, if this video resonated with you, leave a comment below. And also, let me know what boundary are you currently learning to set and that's challenging you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who may need to hear this. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, and keep rising.